Hello everybody, this is Murray back with you on this edition of Lavaca County News. This is for March the 22nd and 23rd, and I have my co-host Michelle here with me. How are you, Michelle?
I'm doing great, Murray. I'm glad to be back.
We're going to start off with the Shiner Gazette, and Michelle's going to take it from here.
All right, well, in the Shiner Gazette this week, you'll see a great 6-column picture of those representing us at the state capitol last week for Lavaca County Day at the Capitol, of course. Then we also have the Taste of Lavaca County coming up, which is a event that's going to support the academic and athletic fund. And 25 vendors are going to be out there giving out food, so get you a ticket from 11 to 2. Cleanup Week is also coming up in Shiner, which is a great event and a great time to get rid of those unwanted items. There's a lot of information about what they'll take and what they won't, so read about that. And the John Huebner Memorial Cook-Off. Mr. Huebner was a longtime brewmaster at the Spetzel Brewery, and so the Spetzel Brewery is having a cook-off. I think it's the 3rd annual on March 25th.
Okay, did you cover this or not?
I didn't cover it yet.
Okay, this is by Jimmy Apple. And it's the 42nd Annual South Texas Polka Sausage Fest this weekend at Hallettsville at the KC Hall. Now, I'll be honest with you folks, I've never been to one of these, but the people I've talked to that go, they say it's a great event and they have a good time.
Polka and sausage.
Yeah.
That goes great together. I haven't been either, but I don't think you get two things that go better together.
You bet. It's exactly right. We're going to scroll on down here. They had an active attacker drill at the hospital. I believe that was in Yoakum.
I'm not sure, but those are also very important to keep those guys trained. And like I said, a lot of times those are all volunteers or people that work hours that we'd rather not be working, but they do it to protect and help serve us.
You bet. And that was the Yoakum Community Hospital. And then we have a schedule for Holy Week and Easter services, and there's a bunch of them. So you'll just have to check your paper. We're not going to, you know anything about this, Michelle?
No, I think the Pilot Club put on a play for both schools. So with both schools being in Shiner, they attended both at separate times, putting on a show for the kiddos. And that's great. It looked like it could have been a puppet show. I'm not really sure. I haven't got to read about what kind of show it was. But there's some animals being shown there. So
yeah, it looks like, too, that it was the 1st and 2nd grade from Shiner Elementary. And big pictures, 6-column pictures of both of these classes. Check it out. Maybe your little one will be on it. Dear Jack, Dear Louise, Gaslight Production. You know anything about that?
Tickets went on sale. I'm not really sure what the play is about, but the Gaslight never disappoints with a good show and great meal. So get your tickets. They have nightly showings, and I think matinee on Sunday.
All righty, we got some more pictures here of the Pinewood Derby. I guess that was the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, it's an annual thing I think the Boy Scouts do to see who builds the best Pinewood car, and you can see the 3 winners there. My daughter had to build a car this year. It was a balloon car, and it was quite the task. So good job, guys.
Well, I see you've got somebody in this picture.
I do. We have the Shiner Chamber float. They attended the Goliad Parade 2 weeks ago, and that was the kickoff to their 2023 parade season, and my daughter is on there, and she's excited to finish out her year, and I encourage others to join up for the pageant. It'll be coming up in June, which seems like a long time away, but it comes really fast.
It'll be here before you know it, and that's a big 6-column picture, so you can see the kiddos pretty good. And
there's notes from the Walters Museum. Mr. Duff Wagner's back, and he has a lot of history always to share. And so that is one of the cars, and I guess it's more, that's not really a car. What do you call that? A buggy?
Probably a buggy,
yeah. And it was before Cosmos' time even, and it's how they...
Well, I see we have some pictures here on the Shiner Sports, and it looks like the Lady Comanches have been doing real well. We've got pictures of these kids that have won awards. I don't know if there's somebody there that you want to mention.
We're just very proud for big awards like that. The Lady Comanches had a great season, so that's definitely good. And then we have Fisher Davis It's always great to see when a kid's going to be able to continue their sports career and their college education.
Yeah, he's going to Texas A&M at Kingsville. That's a good deal, and we want to thank our sports editor over there, Mark Luby, for doing a great job. There's a lot of scores here. There's 2 pages of sports.
A lot of track.
A lot of track, sure is. Yeah, these sports writers have been busy people. And we got our classifieds. Be sure and check your classifieds out in all the other papers. And I guess that's about it, Michelle.
Yeah, there's that map on the back page I kind of had mentioned with the zones for the cleanup week. So check that out, because if you miss a day, they're not coming back, from my understanding.
Well, they do. They bring a big dumpster over there.
I have no idea.
That's what they do.
But
here.
I definitely need to get some stuff out of mine.
All right, we're going to jump on over to the Hallettsville Tribune-Herald, and we've got several items that was in Shiner also. We got the Polka Fest, Sausage Fest, and then we have this event going on over at Weed.
And then also Little League opening ceremonies are this weekend, so I hope it's beautiful weather. Go check it out. I think Shiners is also this weekend. I did mention that. And then there's 2 things that Chuck attended. He was a busy man last week.
Oh, yeah.
Attended some meetings. And so you'll get an update on the trash, the garbage is going up, and what they're adding to the school, some safety for the doors or safety doors.
Yeah.
I haven't got a chance to read that yet.
Well, little Henry Joe Yashek's got his town chatter in here, and he's got his question of the week, trivia question. What was the youngest man to chair the Joint Chiefs of Staff? So he's going to make this one hard for you first. Probably you'll probably have to spend a little extra time on Google to find that one out. Then we have a story by our senior reporter Jimmy Apple, and the Lavaca Hallettsville Hospital District got a story here on learning about this air and medical presentation.
Yeah, unfortunately, but fortunately, they've had a lot of work. I've seen the PHI helicopter been used a lot for rescues in the past year, more than in the past. But as sad as that is, it's also great because that can save a lot of lives. Yeah,
my mom took a ride on one of those from here to Austin. She thought it was fun, and she was scared to death. But then after it happened, she thought it was fun.
Great story to tell.
All right. We have the great state Republicans meeting. Jimmy's got his Lions Club report. Hope market days are set for April the 1st. And we already had the state capitol stuff in Shiner. And there's a story here about Texas being one of the most impacted places in America when it comes to internet crimes. And that's from the FBI. So you'll have to check that out. And then we have the social gatherings and the obituaries, and pretty much, we've got some winners here. We've got Hinkie receives a belt buckle and a monetary scholarship. This was at the Houston Livestock Show. And Austin Matheson, he also won something. So check that out. It's like I told you before, there's so much in here that we just do not have the time to talk about all of it. Now, we're at Chuck Groff's sports page, and his headline is the Brahmas are in a walk-off win over Yoakum, and he's got some color pictures. And then he's got the Lady Brahmas remain perfect in district, and he says the spring break wasn't good for the Indians. And then we have pictures of these young ladies that have won all district in 25 AA basketball, and there's pictures of them here. Go to your sports page and read up on them, and there's a lot in there. So, this was a Pinewood Derby. That was also in...
And that one was in Hallettsville. So okay. It must have been maybe all Boy Scouts did it last week. I'm not sure. I know that they have set dates for doing things. So, congrats to those winners as well. It looks like there was 3 in both set of winners. So, maybe 3 age groups or 3 overall. But yeah, it's not an easy thing to build a car.
Those girls, the Boy Scouts that are Cub Scouts, that's a very good organization. Very good. And let's see, we've got some more stories from the staff, and some of these are national stories, and this one's about how much the feds are spending on officer de-escalation training. So you'll want to check that out. And basically, that's probably going to wrap it up for the Hallettsville paper.
I think you have one story coming up, Murray.
Yeah, I got one in there.
It's coming somewhere.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, there's a story here that I wrote about Lavaca County violence back in the day. And actually, most or part of the story is coming directly out of the Hallettsville Herald from 1905. And I kind of wrote an introduction to it and then made some corrections on the spelling. But it was about a man in Yoakum that was murdered by two guys. I believe they were brothers. And they were murdering him for trifling with a young lady, which I guess was one of their kin. Anyway, they got him with 2 Winchesters, which probably didn't feel very good. So now that's all. And we're going to move on now to the Yoakum Herald Times, and we'll see what's going on over there. We've got the story about the internet crimes and the FBI. And then we have more about the inaugural county day at Texas State Capitol. And we got a little bit here about that hummingbird story that I wrote a while back. And that's basically the front page. And then we get down here, we have the Yoakum Police Report, Yoakum Area Chamber Market Day set for April the 1st. Now, is that a deal where they have vendors or?
Yes, I think that's what all market days are. And I think Hope's was also April 1st, and Hope and Yoakum are close, right?
Yeah.
So check them both out. That'd be really cool.
And they have all the events and stuff on here, and the bond election's coming up May the 6th. And we're in the sports again. More color pictures, more stories from Mark Luby. It's just, like we said before, these papers are full of sports.
It looks like their opening ceremony is also set for this Saturday. And I think most of the time those opening ceremonies have hamburgers or some kind of great food. So if you want to get lunch, go ahead and do that. That Condi, he is from DeWitt County. He's an attorney from DeWitt County, so we want to extend our congratulations to him. He was appointed to serve on the executive board of Texas
Special Prosecutors
Unit. So congrats to him, and I'm sure he will do us proud.
You bet. And we have a color picture here, too, of the, I guess that's Cluck. Cluck Foundation is donating money to the Yoakum Volunteer Fire Department, and it was a sizable sum of $25,000. So we thank them for doing that, because these firemen, they need all the help they can get and all the good equipment they can get. And we appreciate these folks doing that. And we have a story about the Polka Fest again.
Yeah, and I think Jimmy did a really good job telling you what's going on each day, so check that out. If you can't make all days, at least you maybe can make one.
And I have a column in here. It ran in the other papers earlier, but it's about a Texas Ranger that was killed in Mexico back, I think, as in the late 1880s. So you'll just have to read that if you're interested in history and Texas Rangers, which I definitely am. And we got the classifieds like we have in all our papers. And then we have one about, this is a staff report also, about the grand jury returning 20 felony indictments. Now, I'm not going to list them all. They're in your paper. And if you're online, you can look at them at LavacaCountyToday.com. Now, that's all I got for Yoakum. You have anything?
That's it.
All right, we're going to move over to our cleanup batter now, which is the Moulton Eagle. And our front page in the Moulton Eagle has pretty much the same story about Texas being among the worst in America for internet crimes. And then we have a story about Throwback Thursday, and you'll have to read that one. And the Taste of Lavaca County. And then my story that we talked about earlier about the people getting murdered over.
I don't think it's ever good when something says, what did I have it written? Another killing occurred. Yeah. That's not a good start to anything.
No, and you're talking about the Old West back then, and I tell you what, from the way things are happening now, I think we've just about got back into the Old West, because Seems like people are being shot all the time. But anyway, we have the story about Miss Rodriguez being a guest speaker at Great State Republicans meeting coming up March 27th. That's about 4 days away, isn't it?
Yeah, and then Monsignor Dennis Darjluk celebrated his 50th anniversary of his ordination. And so I saw Henry typing that one up, Little Hank. So he did a great job capturing the essence of that story and what's going on and how they celebrated. So check that out, and congrats to the Monsignor.
You bet. 50 years is a long time.
It is. To
be in one job. Of course, we can ask Hank, because I think he's been in 2 jobs 50 years. But anyway, we have the winners in St. Joseph's Altar Society 2023 raffle. And there's
a lot of winners.
Yeah, there was. I put this in here. I kept counting. There was 50 altogether. And then we have the thing about the Hope Market Days coming in April the 1st, as a matter of fact. And we have the Knights of Columbus donated $1,000 to the Queen of the Holy Rosary Church. This is that church that burned at Holston. So thanks to them for helping out, because I know they need all the help they can get over there.
They're slowly rebuilding, and we're happy for them.
You bet.
Look at that, Mario. We have an 8-page paper. Is that what we have in Moulton this week?
Yeah, we had to go 8 pages, thank goodness, because we had a lot of ads, and we appreciate that. I've got a story here about feral hogs continue to multiply across the country, and Texas has half of them. So that goes to show you what we've got and what we're dealing with in Lavaca County, all this area.
And if you hit one with the car, it's not fun.
No,
not fun for you or your car.
And they've been known to kill people. I can remember, well, I say I can remember, there was a story about a lady, and it was here in Texas, and she was a housekeeper. And she was coming to work at these people's home, and they got her in the front yard before she could get to the car to the house and killed her.
Oh, man.
And that was here in Texas. So, they're not something you want to trifle with, and you'll have to read this article. It's pretty large, but the damage they do, the billions of dollars they do across Texas and the whole United States, is just unreal. So if you're interested in that, well, we got it for you. And then we have our classifieds, and then we have the back page, and the Law Catholic Men's Gathering meets every 4th Monday. So this is more social news. But anyway, and then a lot of this is jumps from the front page. So that looks like that's going to tie it up for Moulton. Now last week we had a bad accident, and it was all my fault. Because as I was editing this podcast, I had asked Michelle to say goodbye. And I'd already done my goodbye, so I was good. And I asked her to do hers, and by God, I cut it off before she got through. So Michelle's going to say goodbye first. Go ahead, Michelle.
All right. I'm watching Murray, make sure he's not cutting me off. But I do want to tell everyone goodbye, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I think the weather, it still looks a little rainy on Friday, but I think it's going to look better, hopefully, on the weekend. So enjoy all those opening ceremonies, the events going around, and stay safe, be happy, read the paper, either online or your hard copies. They're all available starting today at the stores.
You bet. And I want to thank Michelle. She's sort of become the permanent co-host for this podcast.
Best news I've heard yet.
So she'll be with us most every time, unless one of us is ill or something happens. But anyway, I'm glad to have her here. She's doing a great job. So I'm going to say goodbye to all you folks, and we'll be seeing you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.